What's going on, everybody? I'm Giant Opinion Sports. Today I'm going to talk about a few players that I could see the Giants trading away. These aren't necessarily players that I want traded away, but with a new GM, no one is safe in this moment. Not only a new GM, but a whole new coaching staff on both sides of the ball. So there's going to be players on the team that are no longer scheme fits. I view 3 players more likely than the rest. The first player that I could see being traded is Darius Slayton. I heard something interesting about Slayton recently. The Giants would save $2.6 million in cap or something around that number. With the cap situation tight, Joe Schoen could view that money more valuable going towards paying for the rookie class or bringing in a player that he wants. Me personally, I'd like Slayton to stay, pretty much because this is the last season we have to evaluate Daniel Jones. Slayton drops perfect passes, but he is one of the few wide receivers on his team that can actually get open. Also, Slayton and Jones do have a connection. I mean, they did come in together. We also seen him play pretty good, in his rookie season. Not far away, but still. Maybe Dable comes in here and he runs a similar system to Pat Shermer's. And we can actually see Slayton look a lot more like the wide receiver he did in his rookie year. There's also the question is, what can you actually get for Slayton on the market? I mean, I think you could possibly get a 5th or a 6th round pick. I mean, for that, I'd just hang on to him, to be honest with you. Now, if someone wants to throw at us a 3rd or a 4th round pick or something, I'm listening, but I don't think that'll happen. So I say bring him back. The next player is Saquon Barkley. Now, I know a bunch of Giants fans that love Saquon, and this would crush them if he was traded. But there is some factors that make me think it's completely possible. First, he's on the last year of his deal, and Joe Schoen might not want to give him a huge payday if he balls out this upcoming season. You could say, no big problem. You can just franchise tag him if he has a huge year. But the problem there is Daniel Jones is also on his last season, and if Jones and Barkley both ball out this season, then the Giants would choose Jones probably over Saquon, and you could lose Saquon for nothing to free agency. Me personally, I'm not trading Saquon unless we get a 1st round pick or something like that. Maybe you get a couple picks, a 2nd and a 4th round pick, something like that. Are there any offers like that for Barkley right now? Probably not, but I'm not going to say it's impossible. Maybe a championship caliber team looks at him and says, Saquon can propel us to a Super Bowl or something like that. Them end of the 1st round picks don't have a ton of value. Maybe San Francisco says, here's the 30th pick. And I think a pick right around there towards the end of the 1st would probably get the job done. I want Barkley here for Jones' last shot of being the guy, but you just never know what the new GM will do. And the last player I think could be on the chopping block is James Bradberry. Now, recently I was saying Bradberry's contract was too big to move, but after investigating it, I found out the team that trades for him isn't on the hook for, the guaranteed money. So if he's traded, the Giants have to cough up $9 million of that contract out of his total pay. The other team would only have to pay Bradberry like $12 million. Now, $12 million for Bradberry might be a bargain. So I do think his contract is movable. I'm on board with that. Now, what could you get for him? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a 3rd round pick, maybe a 4th. These type of scenarios are just impossible to know. Maybe a team like New England would want to grab him. He'd probably be cheaper the next 2 seasons than paying J.C. Jackson, and he'd have no dead money. So they bring him in. If you want to cut him, cool. You want to trade him? Again, nothing. And I'd take James Bradberry over a 3rd round cornerback. 7 days of the week. You know what you're going to get, whereas with a 3rd round rookie cornerback, you don't know. So at this point, after digging in, I'm almost ready to predict James Bradberry will be traded this offseason. So that's the 3 players that I think could be traded. I thought of a few other players as well, I contemplated maybe Blake Martinez, but the torn ACL has probably scared everyone away there. Maybe Blake could be an inside the season trade next year. If he plays week 1 and performs really good, maybe a team tries to nab him, before the trade deadline. The last guy I thought about for a second was Kyle Rudolph, but I think that's very, very unlikely. If I'm a GM, I'm just waiting for the Giants to cut him, and I can just pursue him and sign him on the open market. So thank you all for getting me to 600 subscribers. That's awesome. I never envisioned that when I started doing YouTube. You guys mean a lot to me, seriously. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Now, I hope everybody's warm, stay safe, everybody. Peace.